Hey, DirtyWilly here. Let's get right into it. The DirtyWilly, DirtyCheap, Lightning Spear plus Shockburst Rounds Tactician. I feel the Tactician is extremely overlooked right now because of his two Ascendancy abilities. First ability, a solid plan. Persistent buffs have 50% less reservation. What that means is the listed spirit here of 216 is actually 432 spirit. Easily the highest spirit class in the game right now without trying. Second ability, right where we want them. Pinned enemies cannot perform actions. As soon as an enemy is pinned, he's basically time stopped. He's out of the fight. And since this class pins all the things, our survivability goes way up, and the passive skill buildup is just incredible. Tactician has no problem building up things like frenzy charges. All right, so how does it work? Well, because of the massive spirit and passive buildup, this is a 2-button build. Press button 1, clear the screen. Press button 2, kill any rare that somehow survived. Skill gems. So right now, this build only requires lesser Jeweler's Orbs. It does not require greater Jeweler's Orbs, though they are welcome, which means all of the skills in here only require 3 sockets. So going up to our primary attack, and this is all listed in the Mobalytics, so we'll go over it really quickly. It's a standard Lightning Spear setup with Volt, Fork, Conduction, and then later we're going to put Perpetual Charge in here, or Conduction can be replaced with Perpetual Charge, but I find Conduction at lower levels helps build up Frenzy Charges. Shockburst rounds, again, very standard setup for Shockburst rounds. Fresh Clip, Martial Tempo, Elemental Focus, and those are our 2 buttons. Clear everything, kill the bosses. As for additional skills, this is still a 2-button build, but more damage is always welcome. So Barrage is going to support our Lightning Spear. As soon as we build up Frenzy Charges, we're able to unleash those to do a little extra damage. We have Murderous Intent, Inhibitor, which is very important. It keeps us from consuming Frenzy Charges, and Considered Casting, which I'm not fully sure is working. And same goes with Shockburst rounds when we need a little more time on target to do a little extra damage. We have Emergency Reload, which is going to be supported with Premeditation and Ingenuity. The rest of our skills are going to be all spirit-based. We're going to have Cast on Critical, which has Sniper's Mark, which helps us build up more Frenzy Charges, Impetus, Energy Retention, Herald of Thunder, very standard Herald setup, Neural Overload, Innervate, Magnified Effect. These can be swapped in and out with a few other skills that I'm trying, or support gems that I'm trying. Wind Dancer for more protection, Unbreakable, Maim, Blind, Ghost Dance to help recharge our energy shield, Fast Forward, Cannibalism, Clarity, Combat Frenzy for also building up more Frenzy Charges with supported with Perfusion. This is an absolute must. And then Precision, just because we have the spirit to keep it. I can't spend all the spirit on this class, and I happen to have an extra skill socket on my ring, so I put Overwhelming Presence in there, which seems to help. I can't find enough spirit to spend on this guy, which is a great problem to have. Onto the gear. The only unique I recommend right now is the Tangled Tongue Forked Spear. This is going to be the cheapest option, and it's going to give you the biggest bang for your buck, though you can use a good spear with high physical damage and good stats. As for the rest of the gear, half of this I found, half of this I built, and the other half I bought for a few exalts on the trade site. Nothing special about the gear. I probably recommend more evasion, as this class is built for evasion. But a mix of both is fine for the Tactician, a mix of armor and evasion, and I tend to go with a mix of evasion and energy shield, or armor and energy shield. But as you can see, there's nothing special about the gear here. most of it was found or bought for under 50 exalts for sure. As for the crossbow, however, you're going to want to find a crossbow that has these primary stats. You're going to want plus level to all projectile skills #1. You're going to want increased elemental damage with attacks #2 and increased attack speed #3. Though everything else after that is butter, and this will help support your Shockburst round damage. One thing to note about the crossbow is it will have to be equipped in your secondary weapon set, but every time you use an ability, it will automatically switch between them. As soon as I fire my lightning spear, the lightning spear switches weapon set. As soon as I pull out my crossbow, start Shockburst rounds, everything automatically switches. Passives. Alright, I won't spend too much time on this because it's all explained on Mobalytics. You can just follow along there. But what we're basically doing is we're taking our mercenary build and we're moving over as quickly as we can to kind of a standard Amazon lightning spear build, or just Amazon build. One thing to note, though, we are using 2 different weapon sets. So once you have the core filled out, which is everything in the bright yellow, you are going to select weapon set #1 to fill out all of your spear damage and a couple other ones on the path here. I know they're a little hard to see. You're going to be filling out Spectral Ward to give us more tankiness, because we're going to be running the spear as our primary build, our primary attack. Again, all on Mobalytics. You can see it there a little better. And then weapon set #2 is going to be for our crossbow, kind of branching off here to give us that nice Shockburst round damage. And both of these weapon sets, just like the weapon, once you switch, the skill set automatically switches. But yeah, this is pretty much the entire build right now. I think I'm only level 86 or so. So that's it for the passives. So how does it play? One thing you don't want to do is just constantly spam your lightning spear, because every time you throw a spear, you lose your voltaic charge. So you need to move a little bit to build that back up. So you don't want to just sit there throwing away, because you're not going to build up many charges, though this is the Tactician, so we are going to build up more charges. But you want to move around a little, round them up, fire another one when you have a little bit of distance. Move around, round them up. Get as many as you can on the screen. Try not to miss. Try not to run into bosses. And there's another boss right there.
Another notch on me helmet.
Take out the Shockburst, deal with the bosses. Nope, third boss. So yeah, this class builds up charges very fast, as you can see. And you don't want to just spam it. You want to actually round them up a little, move a little, and then fire. So one more thing to note, Shockburst rounds do not do good damage to an unshocked target. So if you just try and straight up shoot them, it's not going to do any good. You have to make sure the target is shocked first, then you can take them out. Important tooltip.
Unshackled. They are watching. Incinerate. I
let's grab a breach. So this is where the barrage comes in. Now that I have frenzy charges built up, I can use my barrage and lots of damage. Breach is kind of stinky.
Another notch on the armor.
guy gets so many charges. Missed it. That's pretty much it for the build. Level 86, clears tier 15s no problem. Super cheap, super minimal investment, and a ton of potential to scale. As always, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Likes and subscribes are very much appreciated, and we'll have more content to follow.